30+ day home restraint, and brother is up on his feet and still fighting. So I want you all to give a warm, candid round of applause to Jitu Brown, Executive Director of Journey for Justice Alliance. He's going to be our keynote tonight.
What's happening, family? Okay? Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
It's an honor to be here. And you know, it's easy to say that, but the reason I say that is because what moves me, what kind of floats my boat, is when regular people are talking about how they can make the world a better place. We know that in our history, there was a time when that was not safe for us to do. So let's don't take that for granted. We know that Harriet Tubman couldn't sit in a church like this and just talk, right? We know that in some of our lifetimes, conversations like this was dangerous. So I'm honored to be a part of it, because the stereotype is that there's nobody trying to fight back. As if during the civil rights movement, everybody was in the street. As if everybody was participating in the civil rights. The biggest lie that's ever been told. My granddad and my Uncle Pops was the biggest heroin dealer on 63rd Street during the civil rights movement. He was not marching, he was hustling. Y'all follow me? But organized people were able to strategize and move this nation forward. And I maintain that we have the seeds. Because all over this country, some places is larger than others, but all over this country, you can go to Eupora, Mississippi. You can go to Kilmichael, Mississippi, and I went to a youth rally in Kilmichael, Mississippi, with 150 youth mad about the fact that they are targeting third graders and pushing them out of school, right? All over this country, people are tired. So what I like to do, if it's okay, is take a few minutes to talk a little bit about kind of our workers' journey for justice, a little bit about this hunger strike, and sort of what we see is the work that could be happening, or how we can work together in Camden. I want to give you some examples. So I'm not going to come up here and intellectualize with you. Everything I talk to you about, that's the only way I know how to do it. My name is Jitu Brown. As my sister Rancha said, I'm the National Director for the Journey for Justice Alliance. We're just a national network of community-based organizations now in 23 cities. We just added Milwaukee and Dayton, Ohio, so we're growing. Dedicated to community-driven school improvement. Committed to the notion that schools are community institutions and that the people directly impacted have the right to control what happens in their community. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with what my teachers thought. I came up in the African-centered system. I was trained by brothers and sisters who believe in the 7 principles of the Nguzo Saba, believe in Kwanzaa. So I'm fiercely proud to be who God made me. I make no apologies to that for nobody. But I'm also a person that understands that that don't mean you hate anybody. So when I deal with brothers and sisters, people know, I know brothers and sisters like Barbara know, I tend to be very candid about issues that impact our community. Because too often, black people have to assimilate to somebody else's vision in order to be accepted. We have to act as if it don't hurt like it really hurts. We have to act as if our lives aren't in peril every time we get stopped by the police. We have to act as if there's not an intentional plan to destroy our lives in order to be accepted. And that hasn't gotten us very far. It has not. So the Journey for Justice Alliance, we are very candid about the fact that issues that impact our community, the sabotage of public education, it's about greed, but it's about race. It's about race, because it's happening to a particular group of people. And we have to be honest about that. Because only when we're honest about that, what do they say? You know, you can't change reality until you face it. Right? All right. So let me start here, brothers and sisters. But first I want to say thank you to my sister Rancha and Bahia, Camden's Parents Union, Camden Students Union. Much love to you all. I want to say much love to Save Up Camden Public Schools. I see the work that you all are doing. You all are firebrands, and you see something very interesting happening in Camden. In black communities all over the country, there was an assault on independent political organizations. I hope y'all hear me. There was an assault on independent political organizations. In 1983 in Chicago, a very strong independent political movement led to the election of the first black mayor of Chicago and beat the most powerful political machine in the United States, which was the Daley machine. They used to say that the Daley family made presidents. So when the young Daley came into office, I don't want to get too off, because y'all know I can get off track, so keep me on my sweat. But when the young Daley came in office, he was smart. He went to all those churches and those community groups that were part of the Harold Washington Coalition, and he either bought them off or he destroyed them. So those independent political organizations disappeared. There's a few people in this room running for office, which means that you all are rebuilding that infrastructure. Because if you want to get rid of state control, you have to build the political infrastructure so that you can not only register votes, but you have to be able to inspire them to come to the polls. The people don't vote because the system hasn't given us a reason to believe in it.
That's right. All right.
That's a hard thing to say. Because we tend to look and say, well, that means you deserve what you get. But if you go and you give your trust to a system and you continuously get smacked, you continuously get ignored, people begin to lose faith. So you all are rebuilt. I want y'all to hear me. This is not opinion I'm saying to you. This is what's happening all over the country. The political infrastructure in New Orleans has crumbled. It's crumbled. The political infrastructure, so to rescue me when I start lying, the political infrastructure in Detroit has crumbled to where brothers and sisters got to pay for water. They can't even get water. After one of the worst human rights disasters, natural disasters in this country's history in New Orleans. Where I went to a town hall meeting where a 16-year-old girl got on that stage and started hitting the podium saying, I need counseling, I need counseling, I need counseling. But they didn't get counseling, but they got charter schools. They didn't get counseling, but they lost their county hospital. So see, brothers and sisters, to my teachers and to my parents in the room, there's some hatred going on. The reason you saw that police officer flip that girl in that classroom like that, because there's some hatred going on. And now through the advent of social media, you can't hide it no more. But it's always been this way. It's always been this way. Do you understand that people used to sell tickets to lynchings? They used to, like the World Series, they used to sell tickets and bring families to lynchings and watch them. And then just like a fisherman catches a shark, right? Stand next to the brother and sister that's been murdered and take pictures and different poses. We can't change reality until we face it. That same value system said it was okay to strangle Eric Gardner in front of all of y'all, in front of all of us, and then say somehow he deserved it. That same value system closed 24 schools in Philly while they tried to open 2 new prisons. You all are dealing with the value system. I want every educator in this room to hear me. Because this is what we experience on the block. This is what we experience in our neighborhood. There's a deep-seated hatred of us that permeates every piece of policy we look at. Because fixing schools isn't hard. Fixing schools ain't hard. So let me get to it. I told you keep me on my square. All right. Let's ask the question, what is education? You know, we know that education is not teaching young people the skills they need to get a job. To every educator in this room, whether you're in the classroom or you're now a union leader, there was a moment, and that moment I'm sure is still there, when something very pure in you, because you could have been an accountant, you could have been a banker, you could have been anything, but I want y'all to hear me, you made a conscious decision to say, I'm going to dedicate my life to children. Nothing could be more beautiful than that. Nothing could be more beautiful than that. To every organizer in this room, you could have went and worked wherever you wanted to work. But when you saw the injustices that your people were facing, something inside you moved you to stand up. Nothing could be more beautiful than that. So from that place, we got common ground. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Our ancestors teach us that education is inspiration and information that prepare young people to make their way in the world. Inspiration and information that prepare young people to make their way in the world. That education, every teacher in here, raise your hand if I'm telling the truth. All right. So we have to ask ourselves, does the current structure and does current education policy allow you to do that?
Yeah.
I started working with young people and training teachers on things like classroom management, infusing black history in the students' curriculum and stuff like that. I work very closely with teachers. I used to set up youth programs, leadership programs in schools, and and it got to the point where I could take young people to colleges and universities with no school staff on the bus. That's how tight we were with the schools. I've seen great teachers broken. I've seen great teachers. Ms. Lisa Glover, Fuller Elementary School, 42nd in Cottage Grove in Chicago. I've seen this woman work miracles. Then Fuller became a receiving school for school closings. They dumped 220 babies inside that school. That sister called me. I came up to the school. Thank you, Mom. Sister came up to the school. I came up to the school, and she said these exact words to me. I know what these babies need, and this ain't it. And she was holding up whatever her mandate was for direct instruction, where she had to teach according to a script. And the things that she used to be able to do, she couldn't do. 2 years later, Lisa Glover, this master teacher, was out of the profession. Privatization, punitive education policies which drive privatization eat good teachers. They eat good teachers. And also set the stage for what I believe is one of the biggest human rights abuses this country has committed in the last 50 years, which is the attack on black teachers. Nationwide. Nationwide. Very interesting. I got a couple of people here from Philly. My family here from Philly. I know Hiram is in Philly. You know, he ain't from Philly. He's rocking it there. Because where did public education get its start for black people? Public education got its start through the African Methodist Episcopal Church with the African free schools in Philadelphia and New York. Well, why am I saying that? Because our ancestors understood, as Malcolm X said, education is our passport to the future because tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today. So our ancestors understood that in order for us to survive suffocating conditions, we had to create the opportunity for our children to stand on our shoulders. But now the people that help create public education don't have access to it. So we have to ask ourselves, if education is inspiration and information that prepare young people to make their way in the world, and we were the ones who helped create public education, what must we do in order to make sure that our children can stand on our shoulders? Because what you all experiencing in Camden, I've been going through in Chicago since 1998. So I want you to understand this is not something new to me. Since they started tearing down housing projects on the south side of Chicago, they started closing schools. I can take you, and I've taken many people on tours. They used to hate I used to take them on the block on the south side and say, this is where this school used to be, and there's condominiums there, right? As they are gentrifying the neighborhood that I come from, right? So one such school was called Dyett High School. Walter Dyett was a master educator in Bronzeville, died in 1969. Dyett High School was opened in 1972. Walter Dyett taught people like